and welcome to another episode of the Comics Brew and Chew podcast. I wonder if this one's going to go under a chewing the fat category. Special videos.
Yeah, we'll call this not chewing the fat. We'll just make this a San Diego Comic Con 2019 recap, just like we did with our Rhode Island Comic Con recap last year.
And only one of them people actually want to go to.
Rhode Island?
God no. So over the weekend was San Diego Comic Con, the mecca for nerds everywhere. Movie announcements, comic announcements, game announcements, wedding announcements, everything.
So, real quick before we get into the nitty-gritty. Are we covering Marvel?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, I was going to just sparsely at the end mention.
What did even DC do?
DC's whole presence was a panel for their streaming service.
Okay, no one cares about that.
Nope.
I mean, Swamp Thing's great, but it's canceled. So, who cares?
It was great.
2 episodes left.
Apparently, they felt the need to drain the swamp. But, yeah, mainly we're going to talk about the Marvel announcements because that is the only thing anybody cared about all weekend.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
They showed off a red stormtrooper.
Yeah.
Wow.
I was just going to say, we were all on Sunday night, sitting in a group chat, multiple group chats, losing our collective minds.
Yeah, so, I mean...
Before we jump into Marvel, did anyone have anything that came out of Comic-Con that...
Excited them? No, Nothing.
I'm moderately excited for the new Terminator.
Yeah.
Moderately. I love the first 2. Everything after that's been shit. And this one is retconning them, so
Nothing really grabbed my attention.
They announced a couple comics, but that's about it.
I mean, they showed the Avengers video game gameplay. But that kind of falls in line with Marvel, so...
Undead Rabbit. No, I'm sorry. Dead Rabbit that we talked about many episodes ago on the cancellation episode is coming back as Dead Mask, I believe, or something to that effect.
And is it picking up with the same numbering or hard reset?
No idea. All they dropped was the image of the cover and the fact that the character looks exactly the same.
Nice.
Also, we're getting an Adam Strange book coming out of DC, being written by Tom King with art by Mike Gerards, something like that. They've worked together on numerous projects, including Batman and Mr. Miracle. It's a smaller book, or a smaller character, which King usually excels at, as opposed to his Batman run, which I'm not a fan of. And I'm a fan of Adam Strange, so I'm excited to see where this goes. Other than that, not much came out of it, news-wise, at least for me, that I saw. I didn't really watch any, the panels or anything. I just watched, general reactions online to things. So really anything that would have been in my scope would have been other people reporting it on Twitter, and the biggest one was King's takeover of the Strange run, or the creation of a new Strange book. So looking at the Marvel filmography for Phase 4, or as I shall call it, Phase 4.
So, Phase 4 is interesting because... it's the first phase that is not just comprised of movies. Now that the Disney Plus stuff is television episodic content that is actually overseen by Kevin Feige, it is very directly a part of Phase 4. So Phase 4 is 10 projects spanning 2 years, 5 of which are theatrical releases and 5 of which are Disney Plus streaming series.
Can't wait for those 5 films because I'm not paying for Disney Plus.
Disney Plus is not going to be bad, actually. It's going to be $7 or $6. Yeah.
But pay for that, pay for Crunchyroll, pay for DC, pay for every other one. Might as well just pay for cable.
Not Disney Plus.
Yeah.
Every Disney movie ever.
That's cool. I own half of them on VHS.
Yeah. I don't know. I think I'll get it once all the Marvel shit's out.
So...
Or I'll just go to a reputable... perfectly legal website.
Or I'll just go to Comic-Con and find the guy that sells bootleg DVDs of literally everything.
Or that. Or, I mean, you don't even have to go to Comic-Con. You go to, Valero down the street.
No, but
gas station.
No, but there's a guy at Comic-Con. There are 2 guys. They have dueling booths that just have bootleg everything, and they're allowed to sell it.
I remember seeing Civil War in theaters and then stopping at a gas station, and they had it on the counter. I was like, how? It's opening night.
Or we can just... ask our fellow associates at work for a Fire Stick.
Yeah. I mean, or you could just do it yourself. It's easy.
Yeah.
Or I'm sure, unless Disney is smart and finds some way to work around it, I'm sure one person has Disney Plus, and all their friends have Disney Plus. Although they might be, I feel like Disney would be smart and or greedy enough to be like limited to one device, one person, and
I don't think they could get away with one, but I could see capping it 2 or 3.
Hulu caps it 2.
Do they cap that? Okay. And Netflix lets you put as many devices, but only 2 can be running at the same time.
That's Hulu.
Oh well, yeah.
How does now? I'm not too well versed in HBO Now or Go.
I always
whatever
get the
is
two
just their
mixed up.
streaming services. But I know a friend of ours has literally given it to, like, I think 10 people.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure if, like, only one can watch it once,
think,
but I've never encountered problems with it.
I think 2 can be using it at the same time with HBO.
Gotcha.
But yeah, anyways, the first project on Marvel's Phase 4 slate, May 1st, 2020, is Black Widow.
What a big surprise.
Yelena Belova, though.
I just want to know how Kevin Feige actually went on the stage with a straight face and announced that movie. Was there a single person in that room, never mind, like, who was following on the internet, who went, oh my god, I can't believe they're doing a Black Widow movie that they're filming right now and they're not
30
trying
days
to hide
deep.
it all.
But yeah, so Black Widow, they announced that it is set in between Civil War
It's
and
right after
Infinity
Civil
War. David Harbour is playing Red Guardian, who is basically Russian Captain America.
Very
His name is
interesting.
Alexei, though.
Yeah.
Is he her brother? Her brother's name is Alexei.
Oh,
Traditionally in the comics, Alexei died when he was an infant.
that's
This
interesting.
could be, yeah. I mean, if they're giving him that first name, they could be doing a variation on that.
I'm sorry, it's Widow. You
And then
guys know
there's
I
a
know.
piece
Yeah, I was figuring I'd
uh,
just let you run with this.
Madison Pugh.
Oh, you'd be
her first
surprised how the
Madison,
Hawkeye
right?
podcast
No,
went.
Florence.
Florence. Wow, why did I?
You were way
Off.
off on that.
Florence Pugh.
Pew.
Is
Cheers.
Yelena Belova, who is the other Black Widow. Another character that this
Tom, just
one
shut the
is
fuck up
familiar
and let
with.
your girlfriend
Yeah,
talk.
So Yelena is as good as Natasha. The only downfall that Yelena has is that she is way greedier than Natasha.
She's just not as pretty.
She wants to be better than hers is the biggest problem.
So would she have thrown herself off the cliff like Natasha did then?
No.
No? With all the glory of that.
She would have been like,
You would have thrown
"Goodbye,
Natasha and been like, the stone, I got it.
But yeah, so given that concept art that they showed, I don't think that was Red Guardian. I think that was
wildly
Taskmaster.
That's 1,010% Taskmaster.
But the interesting
now,
thing there is,
do you think that they're gonna play this like who's the Taskmaster and it's gonna
Well,
be Red Guardian, whatever the fuck his name
we
is?
literally don't know who's playing Taskmaster.
Yeah.
So
We've seen him on set. He was chasing her through the streets of Prague in an
But-
armored vehicle.
no idea, and they did not reveal
It was
anything
Budapest.
about it.
It is gonna take place in Budapest.
Because in the footage they showed, there was a comment that I think, I forget if it was Yelena or Alexei makes a comment to Nat saying, you can't stay away from Budapest, huh?
I thought I have read in some kind of press release that it is going to, it's going to flashbacks to whatever the original Budapest thing was, which makes me wonder if we'll see Clint or Fury or with it taking place after Civil War.
Yeah.
Will there be a reference to Steve Rogers? I know Chris Evans is effectively retired from the role.
Yeah, look, I don't think we'll see Cap, but I think especially with the Alexei character, he's not going to be a big Captain America fan.
Yeah. I mean, in the concept art, Taskmaster has the shield.
Yep.
I'm wondering if it's going to be vibranium, something else maybe.
The concept art looks
Unobtainium.
really great. He just needs the cape.
Yeah.
Like, Taskmaster without the cape, just, like, that's the one off-putting thing about
I
it.
always really liked Taskmaster.
Yeah, he's a cool villain, and I figured especially when they made him the villain in the Avengers game that he would be showing up in Widow.
And he was also a villain in the Spider-Man game that released last year.
See, I didn't play any of that.
He shows up. So Spider-Man keeps getting these challenges where it's like he doesn't know who's behind it, and then you end up fighting Taskmaster,
Okay.
and you fight him the first time, and it's like an easy fight, and he's like, "Won't be so easy next time, champ." And the next time you fight him, it's a bitch because he knows what you're gonna do.
Mm-hmm.
And he like after the second fight, he's like, "I got you, kid. You're not gonna win the third fight." But there is no third fight in the game.
Yeah.
So I wonder if we're gonna get Red Room flashbacks too.
I would, because Ultron did it a little bit. That's the only one that did,
Yeah,
right?
but I mean, both
Red Room
Yelena
was my
and
favorite
Natasha.
part of Age of Ultron.
Both Yelena and Natasha were raised in the Red Room, and I wonder if we're gonna get Natalia instead of Natasha from Yelena.
Maybe. That's the alias Natasha used in Iron Man 2.
Natalie.
She was Natalie Rushman.
That's right.
She's actually
Natalia. Yeah.
Natalia Alianova.
What's her what's her name? Yeah, that's what Toby Jones calls her. Natalia. And Red Skull calls her Natalia too.
And that makes me think too, will we be seeing Ivan, who may or may not be her biological father in the MCU?
Someone is playing her adoptive father, apparently.
Which, who knows if that's the Ivan role or not.
Which, technically, it should be Ivan. It should be that he's the one that raised her and trained her to be a killer.
Right. But yeah, and I think from the reports, from the footage that was shown, the action was compared a lot to the action in Winter Soldier, which excites me.
Which makes sense, too, as well, because in a storyline sense, Yelena and Natasha's history is a lot, kind of mirrors the way that Cap and Bucky.
Mm-hmm.
You could straight up have like a reference to Bucky in this film too.
Yeah,
where Bucky. Place.
I mean,
he could even make a cameo in like, one of the flashbacks.
So.
He could absolutely, because we know from Winter Soldier that she had one encounter with him in the past where he shot her.
I bikinis.
And then because in the present day of the film he would still be in Wakanda, but he could absolutely show the Budapest incident could have been.
Yeah. No, she said she was pulling a nuclear physicist out of Iran when she met.
That's right. I forgot that she put a specific.
They were
on
outside
that.
Odessa.
Yeah, that's right. But yeah, so that's Black Widow. That's the first project in Phase 4.
May 3rd?
May 1st. So April 30th would be the Thursday screening.
I'm gonna count down the days.
After that is the first Disney Plus series, The Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
That is what I'm most excited for.
Yeah. I can't wait for that.
I'm shocked the name didn't change, but at the same time I can see why it would be confusing to call it Captain America and the Winter Soldier. If they do a season 2, I think season 2 would be Captain America and the Winter Soldier. I mean, they can't really call him Captain Falcon. That's kind of taken.
See, I saw a really great comment saying that once he becomes Captain America, he should just upgrade from Falcon to Eagle.
That'd be pretty dope.
And we know alongside, obviously, Falcon and Winter Soldier, we're also getting Zemo back. Kevin Feige explicitly referred to him as Baron Zemo, and they showed a bit of footage with him in the purple mask.
I'm very upset that I can't find any leaked pictures of that online.
Mask. Yeah, I want to find that so bad because.
So from what I heard is he pulls the mask down.
Yep.
Because, it starts with the Daniel Bruhl Zemo talking. He's a little bit different. And then he pulls the purple mask down, and he has, a furry white coat on, too. And I am so excited for more Zemo. Oh, please.
And he was fantastic in Civil War.
Oh.
And Anthony Mackie confirmed that he's already had a costume fitting with the Captain America suit.
Too.
He came in with the shield and then handed it to
that fucking
Sebastian
look
Stan.
on his face.
He's like, look at
fucking
all the look at all the angry racist white people I'm making right now. I'm full on board. If anyone deserves it, Mackie does.
Right.
Yeah.
And you know what the best part is we don't even have to worry about Mackie's first role as Captain America. Him being as having as much personality as a saltine cracker like Chris Evans did. We don't have to wait 2-3 movies for him to become likable. He's gonna be likable right away.
See, I thought he was really likable in First Avenger.
He's likable,
he fell into the role in Winter Soldier.
Make sure you walk old ladies across the street. Don't swear in front of your mother.
That's
elbows off the table.
We didn't wrote Cap the worst.
Saltine. He's a saltine
Eden writes
cracker.
Everything the worst, but let's not get me started.
But yeah, so Falcon and the Winter Soldier, we don't really have
Sharon
anything.
Carter's coming back. Emily Van Camp.
That was the report a while ago, but they didn't say that at Comic-Con, which has me wondering,
she's on IMDb. I think she said she's coming back too.
I hope so.
Who's she gonna kiss this time?
Everyone named Captain America.
She's like, "Hey Sam, what's up?" Is that a new shield you're doing yet?
Bucky is just sitting there in the car alone watching this time.
He's like, oh, maybe I'm next.
Give me the shield, Sam.
Can you move your seat?
Can you move your seat up? No.
We don't really know anything in the way of story for this one, other than that they're fighting Zemo.
And he's escaped from prison. They did say he's escaped. So.
Yeah.
It's probably
How the hell did he escape?
From that box? I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know.
No. Here's how he escaped. They had the box. He was in it. he dusted. They were like, oh shit, they put the box in the storage. 5 years later, he pops back, he's not in the box, and he's like, ooh, get the fuck out of here. That's what I would love. He just, like, he's just not, they tore down the prison. He's like,
his box was in the raft, right?
no, see, the box they showed him in was the same one Bucky was in, but Bucky was in it in Germany.
Right.
So maybe they took it to the raft?
They gotta have boxes everywhere.
I'd imagine, I'd assume he'd be a raft.
What if the raft
scale.
is gone? What if he just, I mean, I guess...
No, wait a minute. The raft can go below water and above water.
Yeah.
What if you were in the raft below water, but the raft was lifted up when the snap happened?
I think they specifically said that he'll make sure that...
that everyone came back in safe spaces. So if you were in an airplane, you're not just gonna spawn in the sky.
I love the line from Spider-Man Far From Home, spoilers, when Aunt May says that someone else had moved into her apartment,
Yep.
and she, like, came back, and they thought, what, she was a ghost?
That either she was a ghost or she was cheating on...
or she was a mistress, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that's fall 2020, The Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Can't wait.
Injecting into
And
veins.
then our third and final project in 2020, November 6, 2020, is the theatrical release of Eternals. I know you're not excited. I'm looking forward to this one.
I just...
Marvel's space bullshit stuff always excites me. We're gonna get to see Celestials, which I find immensely cool. It's got a really solid cast.
They
too.
haven't even cast the main character, though, I guess.
Yes, they have. It's Salma Hayek is playing.
No,
Lear.
like, I guess there's a human main character.
It's probably Millie Bobby Brown.
Someone who is going to be... No, she's not part of it.
No, it's another young actress
So
playing
excited about
Sprite.
that. I was hoping.
I thought I had read online that, like, they're looking to, like, cast someone who isn't, like, a human side to them.
I don't
And
know.
then they also haven't cast a villain yet, but hot rumor online is they want Keanu
Keanu
Reeves to play, something begins with a D.
If not
Dreidel?
in this
I don't
film,
know.
if not in this film, I'll save my Keanu Reeves comment. But I have someone that I would love Keanu to play that I'll mention later.
Mark
Great.
Spector.
But yeah, Salma Hayek is playing
You're
Ajak,
welcome.
who is the leader of this incarnation of the Eternals.
It should
Richard
be.
Madden, Rob Stark from Game of Thrones is Icarus.
It should be Icarus. He's always the leader.
Yeah, because he is, like, doesn't he have power that protects them?
Yo, the fucking Eternals are some bullshit.
Kumail Nanjiani is going to be Kingo. He's a great actor. And Brian Tyree Henry is also fantastic. He's going to be Faustus.
You forgot to mention somebody, I think.
Gilgamesh you like, right?
Angelina Jolie.
Angelina Jolie is going to be Thena.
Is that how you pronounce that? There's an X in front of that. Where does that X go?
Yeah.
Is somebody going to give it to me?
She's the
Don
one
Lee
thing I'm
is
not looking
Gilgamesh. Leah McHugh is Sprite.
What you're here
forward to. Wait a second, you forgot Lauren.
Lauren Riddoff is Makari.
I'm looking very forward to her.
She is deaf, and I didn't know this, but I guess she's been in Walking Dead lately. Couldn't tell you that, but yeah. So that's the core. The 8 team members of the Eternals.
See, the idea, like, the Celestials are cool because, like, they showed the
Essos the Searcher
and
in the
they
first
show
Guardians.
him in Guardians, and he looks really cool. And then the concept art they release of the Celestials for this movie just looks like Bayformers. Or Pacific Rim 3, as I said. It looks like Pacific Rim or, like, Michael Bay Transformers concept art.
I don't know.
And
said
that
that-
worries me.
I
I
think
said
it
they
all
look like
comes down to
bionicles.
how they portray the scale, like the immense scale of them, and like they've talked about visually, this is going to be like even more Jack Kirby than Thor Ragnarok. And
See, here's the thing. I don't have an issue with things going more Jack Kirby. I have an issue with, like, choosing the things that go Jack Kirby because, like, the Eternals are some bullshit, and they couldn't nail the Inhumans, and the Eternals are
To
more...
be fair, they did try to adapt humans to a television show.
Right. But
and
the Eternals are 12 times more...
Which the real irony here is this is another non-Avengers kind of relatively obscure superhero team that they put a popular actor from Game of Thrones in.
Yep.
With the guy who played Ramsay Bolton being in Eternals
Yeah.
and Rob Madden
The
being in this one.
difference, I think, being that Inhumans was left for Jeff Loeb and Scott Buck to do the exact same thing they did with Iron Fist Season 1. And this, I trust, what Kevin Feige's got planned here a lot more, and I've heard great things about Chloe Zhao.
But my
Don't
thing
you
is,
mention his name in front of me ever again.
Scott Buck,
No.
Iron Fist.
Iron Fist. I'm upset.
So why don't we use that as a transition into the first film in 2021, February 12th? Or did you have more to say about Eternals?
just the fact that like they couldn't nail the Inhumans. I get it. It was a TV show, but the lore for the Eternals is infinitely more complicated than the Inhumans, to the point that at one point the Eternals create the Inhumans. So like, I don't know where they want to go with this. This is just looks like more of the Marvel going, hey,
I'll tell you where they want to go.
We want to do X-Men. We don't have the X-Men yet. So let us do this X-Men-esque thing, and then like by the time we get X-Men...
I'll bet you, yeah, that's a good idea. I think the Eternals will set up the X-Men.
Because they kind of do.
Either that, or I have one other idea of where the X-Men could come from.
The multiverse and Doctor Strange?
Prior to that, but with Wanda.
The multiverse and Doctor Strange that Wanda creates in her spin-off show. WandaVision.
Oh, we're getting there. Come down.
But yeah, next, after that, February 12th, 2021, is Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings.
Can't wait for Ben Kingsley to come back.
I hope so. I really hope so.
I'm excited because another martial arts superhero.
Yeah.
But it's not Iron Fist.
I'm excited.
But describing it as like an action superhero movie and a kung fu movie, if you get like levels of like say the Raid, maybe not as gory, but like like intense. Oh, I'm so ready.
Here's where my like, I don't personally think this. I can just see where all the arguments are going to spring up. Problems with Iron Fist. It's a white guy that's doing martial arts better than like people who like practice martial arts, like in the Asian community. He should be an Asian character that's represented well. But we can't use the Ancient One as an ancient Chinese man because that's too much of a stereotype, and that's actually offensive. So we're going to cast a white woman. But wait, using a white woman as the Ancient One is super offensive because it should be an Asian person, because that's actually how it is in the comics. Now you have an Asian guy who's super good at martial arts being the main character of a movie. You're going to have one camp of people shitting themselves because this is the greatest thing that's ever walked God's earth, and you're going to have another camp of people claiming that it's just like stereotypical bullshit being put into a movie.
I mean, it'd be stereotypical bullshit if he was like, this movie going to take place, and I'm guessing primarily revolve around.
It should be in New York.
China or. Really?
Shang-Chi trains Spider-Man how to use martial arts when he loses his fucking spider sense.
Okay, yeah, I mean, I don't know anything about the character. I had assumed, judging by the cast and everything else, that they're
going to. And the biggest part of this movie is it's a cash grab for the Asian market, mostly the Chinese movie market that everybody's trying to stick their fingers in. This is going to be
but they
the
tried
Great
that with
Wall.
Iron Man 3, remember?
This is going to be the Great Wall without Matt Damon.
And good.
And without monsters and.
Unless.
Fin Fang Foom.
Yeah, we could be getting Fin Fang Foom with the Mandarin in
That's
this.
true, yeah.
Because
with
now
the real Mandarin who's already cast.
Now we can do magic.
That's true.
When we were doing Thor, we couldn't do magic.
We're doing Iron Man. There's no way we could put a giant magic dragon in
Right.
an Iron Man movie. It has to be another guy in an Iron Man suit. Damn it!
But then we got that cucumber patch guy, and he shows up, and he's like, "Hey, I talked to this Irish lady, and she says that Asian magic's a thing. So like, we're gonna do that now." And then this chick that has like maybe an accent from this maybe made up country, like she can wave her hands around and shit happens. So like that's magic.
Yeah.
She made her brother disappear.
I mean, she didn't do that. The robot did.
The robot shot him.
Get in the robot.
But yeah, I'm excited for Shang-Chi as
God.
like an action
The plot
movie.
of Iron Man 3. Get in the robot, Tony.
I'm really looking forward to seeing how they handle the action. The actor that they cast as Shang-Chi seems super charismatic and like super fun to watch.
He's
already.
also really been wanting to
Yeah.
be a superhero for the longest time.
Yep. He went back and like commented on his old tweets from years ago, like talking about how he's wanted to be in the Marvel universe. He's like, "Hey, I guess I'm doing this thing now."
But, so what's after Shang-Chi?
After Shang-Chi is WandaVision. This is my most anticipated of the shows.
Oh, the show. Oh,
of the shows.
Okay.
You get a show or a movie, Tom. You gotta pick.
I mean, you can have my most anticipated movie is. We'll get there.
We'll get there with mine too. But
Two of you.
But and next
I don't think I'm
is
excited for the same thing he is.
WandaVision.
I really am.
We don't know a ton about WandaVision,
No, they released a very brief
but
synopsis.
yeah,
It takes place
It seems like Endgame.
They said it takes place after Doctor Strange 2.
No, before.
I thought
The
they said
events
after.
lead right into Doctor Strange 2.
Oh, okay. So,
It's set after Endgame. What I'm getting from it is that she's gonna create some new alternate reality where she can live with
House of
Vision, and basically a variation of House of M with Wanda constructing a new reality, and it's gonna deteriorate and things are gonna go very bad from there, and she's probably tearing apart the fabric of reality.
My question is, do I need to watch the show before I see Doctor Strange 2?
I mean,
Like,
no, I don't think Marvel
I
would
don't
do that.
See, that's the thing. Part of me says, no, they won't do that. You can be able to watch the show without seeing the movie. See the movie without seeing the show. The other part of me, the jaded cynic, goes, hey, they're trying to make money. Of course they're going to want you to buy their streaming app to watch the show so the movie makes sense.
I don't know. I think it's gonna be you could probably enjoy each as a standalone, but it's also gonna be significantly more connected than
hey, I could get you to pay
the
$10
Netflix
for the
and
movie
the
ticket,
ABC.
or I could get you to pay like almost $20 to watch the show that explains the movie a little more. Overall, it's going to be 20 with the 10 almost for the streaming service, 10 for the ticket, not $20 to watch one.
I mean, I honestly don't think that they're gonna.
I don't think so either.
These.
But just as a cynic, I have to ask the question: will they make it dependent?
I mean, you can go into the cinematic universe without having to see everything.
Yeah. Like, certain things, like, work better. Like, I'm sure Doctor Strange 2 is going to work fine just as a sequel to Doctor Strange, but it's going to totally enhance it having seen WandaVision first.
Like, because this is a new realm for us, for the most part, having shows that are directly impacted and then might, in turn, directly impact the movies.
Yeah.
Granted, there was Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but after a while, S.H.I.E.L.D. just did whatever they wanted to. Like, if you watch S.H.I.E.L.D., they ruined Civil War for you, like, 2 weeks before the movie came out. But, like...
Did they?
I
Yeah,
don't know, I stopped watching before.
I didn't watch it at all. I heard that they were releasing Hydra stuff like a week or two before the movie started, because of just how like the time frame worked for like the episode releases versus the movie.
And that's why this it's all like, whereas Shield and the Netflix stuff and everything was all Jeff Loeb before. This is all
under
Feige's umbrella, and that's why the shows are directly part of Phase 4. But yeah, and then one other bit of news about WandaVision that they confirmed is that Monica Rambeau, the little girl from Captain Marvel, is going to be an adult supporting character in WandaVision.
So at first I was like, that doesn't make any sense. It has to take place super far in the timeline for this little girl to have grown up. And I remember...
The movie takes place in the 90s.
2024.
So at this point, yeah.
She's like our age.
Yeah, so...
Oh my god, we're old.
But yeah, so yeah, this has to be like 2024, 2025 or so.
That just came from the youngest guy in the room. The fucking spring chicken.
Yeah, so we know that Monica is gonna be in WandaVision, and I have no idea if she's gonna be like Photon, or if she's just a person still at this point, or...
She's just a person.
Just a person.
Monica Rambeau as just a person.
But yeah, after that leads directly into my most anticipated of the bunch, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness.
Okay, me and Tom do not have the most anticipated. Thank
I
God.
told you I wouldn't have the same most anticipated as him.
It
sounds
I was afraid
cool.
I might, because earlier he was talking up another thing.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, that's
I
my
thought-
second.
Oh,
I was expecting
good.
the first.
The first is mine, unless John has it. I doubt it, but...
Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness being described as the first horror movie in the MCU. Scarlet Witch is going to be a supporting character. Based on the title, it seems very almost Lovecraft, Elder Gods inspired. I want to see it set like completely in these like alternate like cosmic trippy realities. Get us kind of like how Ragnarok got us away from Earth for a Thor movie. I want to see this get us away from Earth and into the multiverse in Strange.
So they, so with that, they also didn't they say Mordo's coming back? Chiwetel Ejiofor is coming back. I thought they said.
I don't know if they mentioned that at the panel, but I would imagine, given
I
the
thought I
first
had
one's
seen that.
credit scene.
From a press release.
Yeah, I would
that was
imagine
at the
so.
end of Strange 1, they announced that
He wants to get rid of all the sorcerers, and he's probably going to be super pissed at Scarlet Witch for fracturing reality to be with her robot boyfriend.
Yeah, probably.
How did that meme put it? Her sex toy?
But I'm interested in it just because I really hope, like, Doctor Strange 1 was a surprise hit for me. Like, I knew I was gonna like it because I've always liked the character. But
Cucumber Patch over there killed it.
I think when I first saw the first Strange, because Strange is one of my favorite characters, and I thought the first movie was, like, fine. I didn't love it. I just thought it was, like, you know, it was a pretty good, you know, origin story. And then I really loved him in Ragnarok, and especially in Infinity War. And then going back after that and rewatching Strange, like, post-Infinity War and Endgame, I appreciated a lot more, like, the origin story a lot more now than I did when it came out. And it's become one of my favorite origin stories, and I really look forward. And I also think Scott Derrickson, like, I just find him, like, in the way that he, you know, kind of sees the character and a lot of the things that he says, like, I'm really looking forward to seeing him apply his horror background this time and what he's going to do with the character for the sequel. And I've been hoping, basically since the first Strange came out, that someday we'd get a Strange and Scarlet Witch team up, and I'm so excited that that's finally going to be the case.
I'm just waiting to see how Nightmare does, because he seems like such a cool villain.
Yeah, Nightmare...
Terribly underused.
I had heard... I've seen rumors online that they want to bring Brother Voodoo and someone else in. I can't remember the character's name. It's a girl.
Clea.
I almost wonder, though, if Scarlet Witch is going to kind of take the Clea role.
Probably. Brother Voodoo would be interesting, though.
I would love for them to bring in Shuma Gorath.
Bless you.
Thank you. Nah, Shuma Gorath. He's a big eyeball with tentacles and one of Doctor Strange's main villains.
You know, after the other ones. But he's the first one to be in a video game. He was in the old X-Men versus Avengers arcade game.
But, so after Strange, what's next?
After Strange, the next thing is Loki.
Oh, that is the ugliest title I've ever seen.
I love all the jokes coming out of it.
Pick a font. That's like something 9-year-old me would make.
Graphic design is my passion.
I think I'm the only person on the planet who actually enjoys it.
It's just, I don't know, it's too...
Dude, I saw the best one. It says graphic design is my passion, but it's in underneath, and it's in Rainbow Comic Sans font.
So Loki, they've confirmed that Loki did flat out die in Infinity War, completed his arc, died, and we're going to be following the Loki.
And now he rises again.
We're going to be following the Loki from 2012 that jumped off with the Tesseract in Endgame, which means he is still a villain at this point. He has not undergone any of that arc, and the funny thing about that to me, this is the MCU's first time they've done a comic book styled resetting a character back to their original point in continuity kind of thing, which just feels very comic booky to me. So I think that's kind of cool. I'm looking forward to this one. I think Hiddleston is great in the role. But we don't really have any plot details on what it is beyond following that Loki.
Yeah.
If we get more of the 9 realms, that'd be super sweet.
Asgard still exists if it's 2012.
Man.
And there was a leaked piece of concept art that showed Loki standing outside of the Jaws premiere, which would put him in the 70s.
No, Loki can time travel.
Interesting. What's after graphic design is my passion?
After Loki is the animated series What If.
Dope concept.
I'm excited
Cool
for
concept.
this.
The first episode is what? Peggy Carter,
If Peggy
Super
becomes
Soldier.
Captain America.
That's interesting. The cast, a lot of people coming back.
Lots of people, like big actors, small little one-off characters, like Erskine.
I saw Michael B. Jordan,
Yep.
Michael Rooker.
But are we going to get
Mark Ruffalo.
Obadiah Stane builds the Iron Man suit, and Tony yells at that guy that he built it in a cave with a box of scraps.
And then Tony is Mysterio.
Tony's Mysterio. Oh.
No. Tony influences the guy to become Mysterio.
That's true, yeah.
Now, the other cool thing about this, we've had the Watchers set up briefly in Guardians Volume 2 with Stan Lee as a Watcher informant, and it kind of, like, rationalizes the Stan Lee cameos. But this show is going to be kind of like Twilight Zone-esque, where, like, Rod Serling hosts and introduces it. It seems like we're going to have Uatu the Watcher as the host in the mainstream MCU, and he's going to be, like, each episode peeking into, like, a branching reality to see, like, what would have happened had such and such event gone differently. And I think that sounds fun, and I think you know, the What If comics are always fun because they're just, you know, sometimes they're just, you know, really cool to see. Sometimes it's something really sad and, you know, everyone dies because this happened differently. And I think it's a fun concept to explore.
I'm interested to see it.
The one thing I wish that we had some kind of a sense of what the animation style was going to look like.
It might be episodic.
Yeah, that would be cool if every episode had a different animation style to suit the totally different. That would be really cool.
Kind of like not a vignette, but like a
think like
Anthology.
an anthology like Animatrix or Halo Legends or something like that, or the Batman one that they did, Gotham Knight.
Gotham Knights was dope.
So what is after?
After What If is Hawkeye.
Nobody here wants to see that.
I am so nervous about this.
I mean, Amanda hopes someone
nervous.
doesn't hear it. That's a
Yes.
Kate Bishop being deaf joke, ladies and
I
gentlemen.
was gonna say I hope she doesn't hear bad things about it.
I mean, they should they didn't give Clint his traditional background. Whedon. So why don't we just give it to Kate? Make her be the one who, you know, was brought up by Carnies, is deaf.
Yeah, I could see that.
I mean, it's not going to be the same as it is because, again,
Yeah.
Clint
His daughter's
Barton is
probably
not
gonna be-
Clint Barton.
His
What?
daughter's probably gonna be pretty jealous. Side
That's
chick
okay.
shows
We
up.
can throw her off the side of a cliff. That's fine.
No,
But,
Nat already did that.
But at least Clint was married, so this way Kate can't hit on him, because that's always uncomfortable.
I mean, it's only like a 15. This incarnation will be like 20-year difference.
Oh yeah,
30.
30.
Like
Yeah,
45.
Yeah.
and he's singing now.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to this one as well. I mean,
But just to bring it up, even though Amanda should probably bring it up, but I'll bring it up. The font choice for the Hawkeye series is the font used for the cover of the Matt Fraction David Aja run, which eventually turns into the Thompson run. But
and
that's the font they use, so if that's what they're drawing from, that means we are getting nothing but Tracksuit Mafia Bros.
Pizza Dog.
And Pizza Dog.
And also they Jeremy Renner posted on Instagram. He shot a video while he was there, and they did before they brought up the title, they did a little like video to introduce the title that had like it was all like 2D animation, arrows going, you see the target, whatever, and then it, you know, cuts across and you see Kate, and all of this little video is very like minimalist Matt Fraction run comic book style, which is really cool. Like it has that almost like 70s spy vibe like we were talking about in the other podcast.
If it wasn't a live action series, you give me a David Aja inspired animated series.
Yep.
So, for one, can I just say that I really hope that they go with, well, they have to now, go with the Fraction suit rather than the Young Avenger suit.
I'd imagine so, yeah.
And for two,
That's the more iconic Kate suit at this point.
It's a much better one.
Yeah.
She doesn't look like, yeah. Anyway, I would also absolutely love it if the actress is a nobody.
Yeah. Oh, it has to be.
Yeah,
I
like
hope so.
I can't
Actually
really
cast a
think
deaf
of-
chick.
That would be perfect.
What, you want 2 deaf people in the MCU? What are you, some social justice warrior?
Well, if we're starting to get people of color, we might as well start getting people that are deaf. If they're not all going to be straight white dudes, let's just let everybody have a hero then. Let me just go get my red hat real quick.
Christ.
That's if the rumors are true about the crazy government-appointed Captain America and Falcon and the Winter Soldier. He's just gonna be dressed in all red and have MAGA on his forehead.
It'll just be any of like the Captain America villains that have come out in the last 15 years.
That
But if they use Rick Remender's version of Nuke, it was incredible. Cap's speech is amazing. Too bad he can't give it because he's dead.
but didn't they use Nuke on Netflix?
Yeah, but
Yes,
Netflix
they
doesn't.
did.
But Netflix doesn't count, Tom.
Exactly.
They could be the
Which
U.S. U.S.
Guardian
No.
or
U.S. agent.
that. Yeah. And anyways, next, Fred, if you want to take the next one with Thor: Love and Thunder in November
Surprisingly,
2021.
this is the movie I'm most excited for.
This
Are
is
you?
basically tied
John, I
with
could kiss you. Like, more
Doctor
than
Strange
usual.
for me.
I just
What?
like it's
For Phase 4.
moving
Phase
forward.
4.
I'm sure Shang-Chi might overtake it. depending on how Shang-Chi looks moving
Yep.
forward. But like right now, Love and Thunder is what I'm most excited for.
I'm
Which, if you had told me back in 2012 that like after Avengers is all said and done, and after if you had said so.
How about in 2013 after Dark World?
Yeah, they said they would. So if you told me 2013, they're like, so in 2019 they're gonna announce that one of the big three gets a fourth movie. I would have said, oh, Captain America, obviously. If you had told me it was Thor, I would have called you a fucking idiot. I would have been like, obviously Marvel's going in a bad place. It's all gonna be flops from here. But I mean,
I am so excited for Love and Thunder. That title and the He-Man looking font and
like, I know my biggest gripe with Thor Ragnarok was like Taika's humor was like a little like, but I feel like this time around he's not dealing with the death of Asgard, the Norse apocalypse. Like that's what kind of threw me off with the humor. It's like the fuck, this is the end of the fucking world and we're cracking jokes about riding hammers and you know.
This time it's gonna feel a little. It's gonna be a lighter film where that tone will work more.
I like the humor.
Yeah.
Some of the jokes were a little One of my favorite jokes is Korg with the
three
fork
spikes.
thing. He's like, this would be good for fighting vampires. If they
Hey, that might be relevant now.
the three vampires like huddled together like.
And then Fred, if you want to talk about the very Jason Aaron-iness of
That's
this
inspired by it. Say something.
Fred, dead air.
So, like, this is my movie. This is what I've been asking for, like, podcasts and years. They are taking Jason Aaron, the run that got me to love Thor. Not that, like, I didn't like him in the movies before, but I started reading Thor with Aaron's run, and then just consumed everything else for miles. JMS came second after I read Thor. Fucking Walt Simonson I picked up after I started reading Aaron's Thor. Aaron's Thor starts off so strong, and then he makes national news by getting rid of Odinson and replacing him with Jane Foster. The fucking internet broke more than when Kim Kardashian showed her ass on it. Like, it was incredible. The backlash and the support he got for doing that. And they're doing it in this movie. The only thing that might kill it for me is it's Natalie Portman. I was hoping they might recast because no one would remember Natalie Portman was Jane Foster. But I've seen the pictures of her smiling holding the hammer, and I want to see this movie so fucking bad. I don't care.
There's two pictures of her. There's one her smiling, and then one her like. Oh,
I think the smirk one is when they're like forcing the hammer into her hand. Like someone got that shot, and everybody's like, "Look, she's gonna suck." And then they got the picture of her actually holding it.
I mean, she's a great actress.
She's a fantastic actress, and you could tell she was bored by the material they gave her in 1 and 2, and that's why she didn't come back for Ragnarok. She must be super excited about what she's getting in this movie.
Which there is probably a dozen volumes worth of content to get excited about. The fact that there's now Mjolnir, possibly.
Do you think she's gonna have Mjolnir, or
I want her to have Stormbreaker.
Yeah.
Because that is what she gets at the end of Aaron's run. She has Stormbreaker and becomes the War Thor before she becomes Valkyrie in the new book that's coming out.
Okay.
But, like, holy crap, her running around with Stormbreaker, but Mjolnir would probably fit better.
I mean, they could get Dinklage to come back and make another one. He's not doing anything.
But, like, her aesthetic...
Oh, that would actually be really cool to revisit Nivelladair.
Kevin Feige, send me a check.
Her aesthetic might look better with Mjolnir as opposed to Stormbreaker, but what they could do is make Stormcaller the hammer they give to Storm when she gets Thor powers, and have that be an homage to that.
They should just give a hammer to everyone.
They do.
Give one to Korg.
They give one to
Give
a
one to
frog.
some horse-faced alien.
I want Korg. I want to be like, this is a nice hammer.
I'm Thorg.
But his is like a broomstick, so he rides it like that.
He actually rides his hammer.
But
He will be worthy. He can sweep the crumbs off the floor.
Oh, and
Off the
it
Thor.
also has a printer for pamphlets to come out.
But this movie, I saw the title for it. I was like, what? And then Tom puts in the group chat, Jane Foster. And I swear to God, we were in a group chat with like 10 dudes. And nobody knew what was happening outside of maybe
I think
John and
everyone
Tom.
was just ignoring it.
They must have been.
They were the wait for Tom and Fred to explode and break the chat. We'll wait for everyone to cool down, and we'll go back to business as always.
I was not done. I've been blowing up other chats. I've been talking to people online about it. I've been, my entire Twitter feed for the next day and a half has just been Jane Foster Thor. Jason Aaron keeps popping up on my timeline thanking fucking everybody. This movie is going to be so fucking good.
I can't wait.
I don't even care if it's shit to everybody else. I am going to love it.
I can't
I don't even care if it's shit to everybody else. I am going to love it.
I cannot wait.
I mean, motherfucker, this movie's gonna be so good. Well,
It might be
history with
shit.
Joe, 2 out of 3 Thors.
But it's made by the guy who made the good one.
I don't know. In my opinion, 3 out of 3 Thor movies are good. 1, not as good.
I'm upset.
I
they
like the
killed
first Thor a
Akira
lot.
for this.
I'm not. Did you really want to see live action?
No.
We were talking about this earlier. Live action adaptations of anime are not great. Why they're doing a silent voice? No. Yeah. No.
Your name.
Nobody knows.
Anyways,
So after Thor,
There's nothing.
Kevin Feige
which
says
I have an alternate name. Fantastic Thor.
he says we don't have time to talk about Captain Marvel 2, but it's happening. We don't have time to talk about Guardians 3, but it's happening. We don't have
Thor.
time to talk about Black Panther 2, but it's happening. We don't even have time to talk about Fantastic Four or Mutants.
But
And
it's
then-
happening.
And then he says, so that in and of itself, Fantastic Four and Mutants are huge things to name drop, of course.
Yeah.
But no one got the chance to react to it.
Because Mahershala Ali comes out.
Is that how you said? I thought his name was Maserhala.
No, it's Mahershala.
So I watched this video of him come out on stage, and Feige's like, "Yo, you've already got a hat. What the fuck is going on? Put it on for everybody."
Yep.
And the big reveal is Maserhala Ali is playing War Machine.
Oh no, he's been recast again. No, I am so amped about this because my boy Blade is joining the MCU.
Finally.
Okay, so this has been a joke.
That
For-
I've been yelling at Amanda for
Yeah.
2 years.
Free shrug-
That
like,
Blade
I'm just giving out free shrugs.
Blade. I freaking love Blade. Those first two, the third Wesley Snipes movie is terrible.
Oh,
but the first two are so
The third
fun.
has my favorite line though, so I have
It's
to
so
love it.
Terrible.
It's not
so
great.
bad. Okay, now hear me out.
It's Ryan Reynolds playing Deadpool a good 10 years before anybody would look
Hear
at him
me out
seriously
now.
to play Deadpool.
Okay, Dracula, played by Keanu Reeves, is the villain.
No,
No.
because they already did Dracula in the other ones.
Yeah, but that was dumb.
Save him for something better.
Yeah. I already gave you the something better.
Also, Mahershala Ali is the first person to be rescued from the depths of Netflix hell and join the
No.
proper. I mean, who else?
Octavia, no, what's her name? Alfred Woodard. She was.
The woman in Civil War.
She
Yeah.
played his cousin
Okay.
in Luke Cage, and she came back to war. Not
That's
that role,
fair.
granted.
So we're watching the Twitter feeds, refreshing and refreshing. And when they ever said Blade, I was done.
I was excited.
I can't wait. I love
So-
Blade. Mahershala is a great actor.
Before we had the MCU, we had shitty Ghost Rider movies. We had
Spider-Man movies
Spider-Man
that were
movies
good
that
but of their
ranged
time.
in like actual quality, and you had DC killing it because they were just like,
Batman.
we got Batman, and like that's all we need. But before any of that, after Batman almost sank the entire superhero movie franchise, late 90s, Wesley Snipes shows up as this Shaft-esque vampire killer, and for 2 movies, wowed everybody.
Yeah.
For a 3rd movie, wowed an impressionable version of young me.
Yep. Those
you're
first two, I love those
Because
first
you're
two
gonna
Blade
tell
movies.
me, cock-juggling thunder cunt is not the greatest insult you have ever heard. Before vampires explode because they pump silver dust into the room. And then there's like a little like Pomeranian that's also a vampire dog that Ryan Reynolds
Ridiculous.
Blade
kicks into
Trinity
the
is
lava.
bad. Blade Trinity is very bad. But Blade and Blade 2 are so
Oh, we're
fun.
still talking about.
We're still
this.
talking about
Jesus.
Blade.
See?
I could care less.
Blade is
I'm
great.
fully with
Oh,
John on this
God.
one.
Tony Stark's head would have exploded if he knew vampires existed.
Oh, whoa! I can tie this together. Blade, Korg.
Yep.
Crossover
Exactly.
movie.
Yeah. With a 3-pronged fork.
I'll just kill some vampires. It's just like
That would be fantastic. But yeah, and that's the note
I'm
that
cool.
they left
They
us with in
ended it on.
Comic-Con. We know that Phase 4 ends with Thor, Love and Thunder. So that means that Guardians...
Avengers.
No Avengers, which makes sense because they said moving forward the next couple phases aren't like a big narrative leading to like an Infinity War Endgame type, but it's going to be mini narratives. Think like WandaVision leading into in the
been on
Multiverse
there
of
for a year.
Madness.
Which the fact that they didn't announce the next Ant-Man also makes sense.
very upset.
Well, no, it makes sense though.
Why?
Because they have to build up the rest of the Young Avengers if they're going to have Cassie.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
Why?
I want
Give me
Ant-Man
the fucking
3 so
stature
bad.
movie.
Just I want more.
What?
I
Why do we
want
need to
more
wait?
of
She's
my-
already an adult.
I want more of my most precious boy. Scott Lang.
Yeah.
Please.
Scott and Hope and all
Michael
of them.
Douglas is old.
Yeah.
He's not young in years. There's a quote by Michael Douglas. I'm not going to say it on air because it's very vile, and it's kind of funny, but at the same time, very vile. Tom probably knows what I'm talking about. But yeah, I mean, they pretty much also said, like, we are doing Guardians 3, Black Panther.
Michael Douglas has a long life ahead of him. His 102-year-old dad is still kicking.
Very true. But so
and
that's
his
what
like
came out
68-year-old wife is keeping him vibrant.
That's what came out of Comic-Con for Marvel.
Yep.
They also showed gameplay of the Avengers game, which I'll talk about very briefly here, like not even a minute. It looks like Batman. It looks like you press buttons to fight, and the gameplay that leaked showed like you start as Thor, you do Thor stuff. You go to Iron Man, you fly around, you shoot guys, ooh, and then you go to everything else, and that's about it.
Yeah. So
I'm getting Kate Bishop.
that was Comic-Con 2019.
I'm just trying to think if there's like anything else big off the top of my head. Only other thing I can think of isn't like.
Well, the Cats trailer came out.
So, with that, I would like to drop the Twitter handle that I currently remember is Comics Brew and Shoe. So please follow us on Twitter for
At Brew Comics.
At Brew Comics.
Instagram is ComicsBNC.
For like irregular comic updates sometimes. I don't know. Like I jump back and forth. I usually just jump on the account, Twitter account, to get rid of notifications I have and then go back to my main account.
Yep.
So, but yeah, thanks for listening to us ramble for a good few hours on different topics. We know this is going to be uploaded separately, but yeah. Thanks for listening, and we should be back soon with either probably a book because there's no movies for a while.
No.
Unless we get bored and watch a movie. Decide to talk about it.